Dear Ukrainians, the work is still ongoing in Dnipro after the Russian drone strike. The strike was targeted at the city center. Unfortunately, people were injured. In general, all day for the eastern regions. Kharkiv, Dnipro region, as well as our Sumy region, Chernechchyna region are actually constant air threats. Kharkiv was under attack. There was a strike on a substation in Chernechchyna region. Restoration is currently ongoing. In the Sumy region, at night, the Russians killed an entire family. Just killed in the house. A woman, a man, two small children, children of 4 and 7 years old. The woman was pregnant. A Russian drone strike. My condolences to family and friends. We will definitely respond to Russia's strikes. There were also reports from the military today, in particular on our deep strikes. We continue to quite rightly destroy Russian logistics, Russian fuel infrastructure, everything that serves the Russian war. The world knows. Only Russia is to blame for the war not ending. We receive the right signals from the United States of America, from our other partners. Signals that force is needed to force Russia to real diplomacy, to negotiations, to peace, to meetings. And those formats that can really help and from which Russia is constantly hiding. Without strong pressure, the Russians will not stop. On the contrary, they are trying to increase their aggression. It is already the 7th day, and before there was no such thing, an emergency situation at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. The situation is critical. Due to Russian shelling, the station is disconnected from the power supply, from the mains, and is supplied with electricity from diesel generators. It's extraordinary. The generators and the station are not designed for this and have never worked in this mode for so long. And we already have information that one of the generators is out of order. And it is the Russians who prevent the repair of power lines to the plant and the restoration of basic safety due to shelling. This is an absolute threat to everyone. Not a single terrorist in the world has allowed himself to do with a nuclear power plant what Russia is doing now. And it's right that the world should not remain silent. I held a meeting with the military and the Ministry of Energy. I instructed the government, the Ministry of Energy of Ukraine, together with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to draw the world's attention to this situation as much as possible. I also held a sanctions meeting with the Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council and the Commissioner for Sanctions. The task is clear, so that sanctions cause more pain, more tangible consequences for Russia. In October, work on synchronization of sanctions, in particular our sanctions in the jurisdictions of partners, should be accelerated. We are counting on the adoption of the 19th package of sanctions of the European Union, which will be a weighty argument with the Americans, so that their pressure does not lag behind the pressure of Europe and other subjects of the Group of Seven. I also instructed to prepare the extension of sanctions, the terms of which are expiring. In September there were 5 of our new sanctions packages. There were also solutions of partners that help in many ways. The sanctions of Europe, the sanctions of Canada, the sanctions of the United States are based on our Ukrainian proposals. We are very grateful to our partners for this. I spoke today with the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres. I thanked him for his support. I spoke about our efforts to return our Ukrainian prisoners, our adults, and the return of our Ukrainian children who are being held in Russia. We are preparing our resolution for the General Assembly on children abducted by Russia. We are working with countries to ensure that there is an effective vote, so that there is the most important result, the return of our people, the return of our children. One more thing. Today, Ukrainian intelligence, together with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, evacuated 57 more people from Gaza, including 48 citizens of Ukraine, 16 children. In total, for almost 2 years, our forces have evacuated 422 more people from Gaza. And not only citizens of Ukraine, but also citizens of neighboring states. Under the American initiative, there is an agreement to resolve the entire situation in Gaza, and not only for this region. For many in the world, this matters. President Trump's proposals are important. We talked today with the UN Secretary General about this. And this is a good chance for a settlement. We are ready to do our part to make the American proposals work. I thank everyone who helps protect lives, everyone who restores the strength of international law and the international habit of respecting people's lives, stopping wars. This is the most important thing. Glory to Ukraine.